Well, I'd like to invite you into Peabody Auditorium. This is a lovely place on our campus. It was recently renovated, and I want you to get a chance to come inside and see what we've done and take a look at the building. We're going to stay outside for a minute and talk about the architecture. This is a really interesting building. It was built in 1939. It was an interesting time in architectural history. We were sort of transitioning from more neoclassical architecture to something a little modern or modern, as they said at the time. So this is really mid-century modern. It has a little bit of taste of Art Deco. So if you see the glass block, it's an interesting and beautiful element that was a major feature to the building. In the 70s, when they built Kilpatrick, they tore all the windows out and boarded them all up and took all the glass block out. So it was this large, you had these large stucco openings where there used to be windows. So our recent project, we renovated them and we put the windows back in and the glass block back in. So we're really excited about how it looks. We're excited about making it look like it did in its early history, and we're thrilled to be able to make it a more daylighted building. We returned daylight to the space, and when we're inside, most of the time we don't even turn the lights on. We don't even notice that we don't have the lights on because of the amount of daylight that now comes into the space. It was really originally designed to be a daylighted facility. And most people, they had lights in the building, yes, but they rarely use them because the building has enough daylight to function without it. One of the things that we've been doing that we think is a great use of our spaces is that we're using spaces like Peabody Auditorium as a place to put our art. Our art collection is pretty extensive, and there was a concern that it was all sitting in storage and not being used and only being able to be seen on occasions when we would have shows in our various galleries around campus. So Dr. Dorman came with a great idea of saying, why don't we take our spaces that are used for other reasons, like this auditorium, and put some of the art in. So we're standing here in front of a sign that indicates that this is Jim and Carol Dew collection. And these are some lovely Asian woodcut prints. And so I'm going to walk over here because I think we need to let you have a chance to see a few of them and invite you back to campus when you get a chance to see some of these lovely pieces. We're going to just wander around to a few of them. It's lovely work, and we're excited that we can have it on display. Test, check. Okay. And one of the things that we've been doing with the collection is this is not the entire collection. So we have about a third of the collection in place, and we rotate out the prints so that we're not always having the same prints on display. Welcome inside. I think you can tell from the views that it is a lovely space. There's great daylighting. We have all the lights on today, or most of them, but it's not really necessary. We turn the lights off on occasion and forget about them. And we've had entire classes take place in here without anyone knowing that there weren't any lights on. So it's a beautiful space. Again, we were able to open back up what was a larger volume space. When it was renovated in the 70s, they dropped the ceilings. So the ceiling was about halfway on the windows above. And there were no windows, of course, they've taken all the windows out, but the ceiling was a good 4 feet lower than it is now. We were able to open it back up. We actually discovered that the ceiling had two levels, which we're really not aware of until we pulled out the old ceiling. And it's really a lot more expressive of the structures. You can see really a lot what the building looked like in its early days. Of course, it has transformed. We did make the floors level. It makes it a lot better for engaged learning where we have students work in groups. Now we're not doing that right now because of the pandemic, but as soon as that passes, we'll be back to having not desks that are scattered out now 6 feet apart. We'll actually have desks that are collected together, and sometimes we put 6 or 8 together or 4 together with students working in teams. And the level floor allows for that. It also allows for us to use the space for other kinds of events. We can have dinners in here, which is really, again, it's just such a beautiful space. People are finding ways to use it more. And it particularly is more accessible. It wasn't when it was all sloping. So it's now a lot more accessible to people. We even made the stage accessible so you can enter it. So it's a really lovely, as I said, it's a lovely space. And I'm sorry you're not here today on the tour, but hopefully the next time you're on campus, you'll have a chance to drop in to see this beautiful room and to enjoy the Dew collection that is on the walls. It's a great gallery, but it's also a great space.